There's nothing quite as gut-wrenching for an athlete than having to abandon a race they've spent months preparing for, especially when it's the Tour de France, one of the most prestigious events in the cycling world. For Mathieu van der Poel, that heartbreak became a reality this year during the 2025 edition of the Tour. Just when he was poised to tackle some of the most thrilling stages in the final week, his journey came to an abrupt halt due to illness. But here's where it gets controversial. Was it bad luck, or could more have been done to prevent this outcome? Let's dive in. Van der Poel, who had been one of the standout performers in the first week of the Tour, was all set to shine on iconic climbs like Montmartre in Paris. However, fate had other plans. On the second rest day, the Dutch superstar contracted pneumonia, forcing him to withdraw before the start of stage 16. It wasn't just any ordinary setback. It effectively ended his participation in the race entirely. Since then, Van der Poel has been sidelined, focusing solely on recovery. Thankfully, though, his return is imminent, with the Renewi Tour marking his comeback next week. Staying healthy during a grand tour is no easy feat, Van der Poel shared candidly in an interview with In de Leiderstruwe. You're constantly surrounded by people, and let's face it, the accommodations aren't always five-star quality. This time, unfortunately, I was the one who got sick. His tone reflects both frustration and acceptance, acknowledging that these risks come with the territory in professional cycling. Yet, it raises an interesting question. Should teams invest more heavily in safeguarding riders' health during such demanding events? Or is this simply part of the sport's inherent unpredictability? The disappointment was palpable for Van der Poel, particularly because the latter stages of the Tour promised so much excitement. It was incredibly frustrating, he admitted, especially knowing there were amazing stages ahead, including that epic finale. But sometimes, life throws curveballs, and you can't do anything about it. Despite the setback, Van der Poel remains optimistic about his progress. He revealed that while the effects of pneumonia lingered longer than expected, he gradually regained strength. The Sunday after I stopped racing, I managed to hop back on my bike for a light ride. It took about a week before I could push myself harder again, but eventually I found my rhythm during training sessions in Spain. Looking ahead, Van der Poel's ambitions remain firmly intact. The Mountain Bike World Championships, which were announced as the centerpiece of his 2025 season, are still very much on the agenda. However, with his recent illness, slight modifications to his schedule seem inevitable. For now, the plan hasn't changed, he explained. I'll use the Renewi Tour as a stepping stone to get back into competitive form. After that, I'll focus on the Mountain Bike World Cup in Les Gets, France. To prepare effectively, Van der Poel will incorporate additional mountain bike training sessions in Belgium, alongside competing in the Renewi Tour. The idea is to rebuild my race sharpness through the Renewi Tour, and then shift full attention to the mountain bike discipline, he elaborated. This strategy underscores his adaptability and determination to bounce back stronger. So, what does this mean for Van der Poel's legacy? Will his absence from the Tour's final week be remembered as a missed opportunity? Or will his resilience define this chapter of his career? And perhaps more importantly, how much responsibility should teams bear in protecting their athletes from illnesses during grueling races? These are questions worth pondering, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.